What is up, everyone? Welcome to the dark side of Beast Rider. I'm really excited for this one. If you guys haven't heard the news, the headline here is Tyree Wilson, Myles Garrett. It could happen. So, that's the talk of the town. What I'm hearing from around the league, and then we're going to talk about this. So again, I'm really excited. Welcome to the dark side of Beast Rider. For those who are new, subscribing to the channel, welcome here. A lot of cool stuff that we have going on as it pertains to the DLB. And if you guys are wondering why I'm out of breath, well, just trying to get a workout in, hop on this live stream, and here we are today. So here we go. Coach, thank you so much for the super thanks. He says, how's it going, fellas? Any news on training camp and how fans can attend? What's going on, Coach? And getting back to your question on that, first of all, thank you for the super thanks. If you guys haven't noticed, I did put up videos for everyone that sends me a super thanks on the live stream and also on the replay. You guys can send me a super chat, or vice versa. Dyslexic there. Those are my dyslexic there. Super chat on the live stream, super thanks on the replay, and also the Venmo donation. So I did make a video for last night's live stream on the pick 6 at 6. Obviously, we're transitioning into the blitz pickup, and so here we are today. And getting back to your question, I haven't heard any news as far as fans attending training camp. I know they're kind of, last year was kind of like one of those things that just kind of happened. But I obviously put that information out once I received that information. So again, we're going to leave no stone unturned because, again, you guys follow me for a lot of different reasons other than my prediction analysis and reporting. So, again, if I hear something, I'm going to let you guys know. And, I don't know how that really works. I know last year, I'm thinking back now, last year they had a fan appreciation day type of deal like what the 49ers did. I remember I had to drive back to the Bay Area on that day, and that's when that weird, flash storm started happening. I was like, man, and it was really raining and pouring that day. But I'll keep you posted on, hopefully that doesn't happen this year, but I'll keep you posted when and if they do hold that. But thank you so much, Coach. I appreciate the super thanks. Super chat. Super thanks. Raider Chase says, with strength and conditioning coaches, the Raiders have, I can see it. Yeah. Look, strength and conditioning plays a role, but also being fundamentally sound plays a role, right? Being fundamentally sound also plays a role in all of this. So again, welcome everyone to the DOB. I just want to give a special shout out to those who are in here. Thank you for modding Robert Pena. He's always the first one or one of the first ones in here. He says, Pena, what up? Vic says, what's up, Beast? We have DK in the house. He says, salute, Beast Nation. What is going on? D Menace 4200 says, salute, Beast. A lot of good vibes here. All right. So again, smash this like button. There's 20 of us watching today. We're going to talk about Myles Garrett. And how it relates to Tyree freaking Wilson. Look, if you check my Beast receipts, I thought Myles Garrett was a generational talent. You guys know how I felt about him coming over from the San Francisco 49ers. I was like, hey, you draft Myles Garrett no matter what. And so here we are. And there's been talk about Myles Garrett. So I did some research. I'm like, okay, when I look at the height, weight, speed element of the game, and when I've been running grades on all these players, and again, for those who don't know, yes, I'm coming from the Bay Area. Yes, I was a San Francisco 49er fan before covering the 49ers. And once I started covering the 49ers, I had to distance myself from being a fan, right? Like that's how I ended up getting to where I am, is because you have to distance yourself from the fandom part of it and just have an unbiased opinion about the team because you're covering them. That's your profession now. Now you can root for them and all things in between, but to be a fan of the team is a totally different dynamic than actually doing it as your 9 to 5, which is the sole difference between a content creator and a beat writer, right? Like I'm not a content creator. I am a beat writer. I'm the one that pushes out the content that content creators can use as long as they credit me. Or don't credit me, be content stealers. But that's with every single beat writer, right? We all add value to the content creators. So getting back to it, it is one of those things where if you look at it for what it really is, we're going to be talking about Myles Garrett. and how it relates to Tyree Wilson. I spoke to a few NFL scouts from both divisions and both conferences just to kind of gauge what their interest is and on a personal level. I'm not saying this is what you're hearing in the war room, but this is kind of what I've been hearing from the NFL circles that I work with, right? And that I trust. So again, this is what we have, right? So we're going to break it down. I'm just going to put up the banner here. We're going to leave no stone unturned. The 16 of you guys watching, give this video a thumbs up if you guys like what I have to bring on the daily. Also, if you want to support the channel, you guys can do so through Venmo donation. It's in the description box below. Also, you can also send me a super chat on this very live stream, and then also spread the word to all your family and friends. Look, if you can't do that, a like is free. Give it a thumbs up. All right, that's free. All right, so I'm not asking for a penny. I'm just asking for a like. No, and look, let's be honest about. Let's be honest about this. We have 17 people liking it right now. So again, if you like the flavor that I bring to the table, please give this video a thumbs up. It really does help me a lot. And I always say a like is worth 1,000 hugs. Really is. Actually, 1,000,000 hugs. Let's hug it out. All right, so let me just put up this ticker right here. So let's talk about Myles Garrett. For those who don't know who Myles Garrett is, and again, he's coming over from the Cleveland Browns because that's who he plays for. But he was drafted back in 2017. All right, Myles Garrett. Who is Myles Garrett? Well, he's drafted back in 2017, number 1 overall out of Texas A&M. All right, so as you guys know, who else came out of Texas A&M and transferred, right? So Myles Garrett, to me, if you look at his measurables and what Myles Garrett brings to the table, right? And the things I liked about Myles Garrett's game, I should say, is his pass rush arsenal, his ability to lose his long arm length. Like, that's huge. You can't coach that. Like I said, like, you can't coach speed, you can't coach arm length, you can't coach height. Look at me. I'm short. I want to be 5'8", but I'm only 5'5". And 5'8", but like 5'8". Yeah, man. Every inch counts when you're 5'5", bro. But let me tell you something. All right. Check the beast receipt. Yeah, 5'5". Like, what? People think I'm 6 foot. I am not. Maybe on a ladder. But here we go. All right, Myles Garrett is 6'4", 272 pounds, has a 34 1/4 inch arm length. All right, drafted number 1 overall by the Cleveland Browns. All right, in his rookie season, all right, he had 7 sacks. Again, what was my prediction for Tyree Wilson? My prediction for Tyree Wilson was 6 to 8 sacks his rookie year. So again, what people are talking about is right in line with his rookie production. Now, that's why I gave a grade of a C. I'm not saying that Tyree Wilson will not be a Hall of Famer. I'm also not saying that he's going to be a Pro Bowl player. All I'm saying is what I'm seeing in year 1, based on the evaluation versus evaluation of where they drafted him, I gave him a C. Why? Because I see a little bit of Aldon Smith, who was drafted number 7th overall out of Missouri. Right? And so, again, when you look at that and you look at Aldon Smith and what he put up, oh my gosh, his rookie year back in 2011, when John Gruden was an ESPN analyst, he says, oh, the Niners got a young pup. Trent Baalke got a young pup. Well, Tyree Wilson's kind of raw too. The difference between, I think, the two is, again, it comes down to pass rush and using your hands. What I mean by that, hand placement, you have to have some kind of pass rush. You can't just go into a pass rush thinking that, you're going to get by just your speed or by just your power. Like I said, I explained this. In the NFL, it's a totally different ball game. It's not like transition from high school, and even in college sometimes, and a lot of times, you can get away with God-given ability. At the NFL level, everyone's good. So you're going to have to win the leverage game. You're going to have to win the technique standpoint. You're going to have to come with a pass rush plan, right? And counter. Like for instance, like let's say you do use a rip move, right? Inside rip, out, whatever the case may be, right? A hand swipe, a swim over, whatever the case may be. But like, let's say that the offensive lineman's so good at playing with a strong base that he does not get fooled off that initial pass rush. Well, what's your counter? Are you going to have a spin? Right? Like, there's different concepts to this. You can't just, once you get stalled at the point of attack, you can't just give up and be like, and then try to back. I mean, that doesn't work. We see it all the time. Why? Because no edge rusher a lot of times comes with a game plan. You have to come with a counter. And what's the counter to that counter? Comes down to film study, right? How these guys like to angle set in their pass pros, right? Jump set, angle set, vertical set, whatever the case may be. All right. So again, there's a lot of different concepts to this. But yeah, this is what Myles Garrett brings to the table. And that's why I think Tyree Wilson, if you look at his measurables, I think he's 6'6". Actually, I know this. 6'6", 271 pounds, has a 35 and 5/8 arm length. All right, so the guy is, you can't coach that. I mean, he can slap me from one side of the room in the media workroom to the practice field without moving. He could just be like, boom, see you, beast. Oh, you're not a beast, boom. Like, he'll just like, boom, backhand me back to like wherever, right? Back to my home, down the street, like, boom. See you. Like, the guy is really long. I don't know how to explain it. He's like Gumby. Like, he's just really long. Like, he's like Go Gadget. All right, like Go Gadget. Boom. Like the dude. You want to talk about a gadget player? Just nickname him Go Gadget. Let me write this down. You guys remember Inspector Gadget? That's what I see. That's what I see in this guy. And this guy's crazy good. Like, when I turn on the film, you see plays that make you think, wow, this guy does it. But then in the run fits, I'm like, I kind of want to see more consistency there. But it's not what I think. Again, it's not what you think or anyone else thinks. It's what actually is going to be playing out. Space Chimp says, season ticket holders get a special look during camp. Not sure about the general public. I know with the Niners, I know because I'm a season ticket holder with the Niners, and I give away season tickets to all the Niner games. And I think that's one of the reasons why they continue to follow me, is just for free tickets. No. They follow me because obviously they like what I bring to the table. But at the end of the day, it's like, I think the Niners do that. I know for a fact I get emails, but they also open it up. I believe back in 20, they had fan appreciation day. Yeah, I know for a fact because my friends were going there, and they did some kind of raffle. So I don't know how it works post COVID, but yeah, it's really cool. I think the fan appreciation day should be opened up to season tickets or non-season ticket holders. That's for another debate. But I think it's cool that they allow fans to even have that kind of access. I think that's really dope. So hats off to Mr. Davis for doing that. On to Six Soldier and Space Chimp would know. And Space Chimp, by the way, I gave you a shout out yesterday on today for yesterday's live stream super chat. Thank you so much. On to Six Soldier says, Beast, can't wait to hear what you have to say. I bought a new notebook. Let me write that down. Oh, man. Yeah. So, again, I think that Tyree Wilson's going to have 6 to 8 sacks. And we're going to see the talent from a pass rush perspective. And so Nation is going to be like, oh, my gosh, he was not a steal. He shouldn't have been graded a C. Beast was wrong. He has 4 sacks in 5 games. And, wow, he's on pace to have the single season sack record for a rookie. It could happen. I'm not saying it's not. That's why I gave a C. Because, again, I would have rather that, and again, it takes 2 to tango, but let's come on. If Howie Roseman was willing to trade at 9, what's to think that he wouldn't be willing to trade at 7? Because obviously, when I talk about diminishing the value of pick for Jalen Carter, oh, they took him off his board. That could be true. And I was in line with Vic. I was like, yeah, if he's sitting there, what does the Beast receipt check out? What I say? If Jalen Carter's sitting there, what I say the Nation fans are going to do? Oh, they were going to get Jalen Carter. I'm like, oh, no, they're going to pass on them. And then people are going to be all over that as if we should have got Jalen Carter. But I say, hey, look, I think, and what I was hearing was, I thought that Jalen Carter would have been a guy that they would have passed up on if he was on the board. And they did exactly that. So the proof is in the pudding. Vic was right. You want to diminish the value of the pick and show your hand in a game of Texas Hold'em and say, hey, look. Hi, everyone. Yeah, Jalen Carter's off our board. Here's one of our whole cards. Without even knowing the flop. Come on. Come on. Someone talk to me. Let me write this down. Jeremy Willis says Tyree Wilson needs to learn from Jones and Crosby and learn hand fighting. Tyree has one move, but the bull rush. He needs multiple moves to be dominant in the NFL. Yes. And this is exactly why I gave it a C. He's very raw. To me, Tyree Wilson is a raw prospect with a high ceiling. And again, talent can only get you so far. Work ethic beats talent every single time. Why? Because if you're passionate about the game and you have the work ethic, you can be great. But if you don't have that drive to become great, you're just going to be complacent in where you are. And that's the difference between a guy who's good to a guy who's great. Right? And so that's why my coach always says, good is the enemy of great. Once you experience great, you never want to be good. Good is the enemy of great. Once you go great, it's game over. And that's the standard. So I like Tyree Wilson. He has an unquestioned work ethic. You know, when I talked to him about what he brings to the table, he adds versatility, right? He can play in a 2-point stance. He can play in a 3-point stance. He can do it all. Now, I don't see him lining up in like a Eric Armstead type of deal where you're shrinking him down from like a 5-tech down to a 3-tech. I'm not seeing that, right? You have Neil Ferrell there to do that, to one gap. You have, depending on what gap they put him in, A, B gap, doesn't matter. But you can put Byron Young there. You also have Matthew Butler there, and then you have to nest Jay Silvera, who can 2-gap, right? So he can play the 0 or the 1 technique and so forth. He can play the 4-eye if he wanted to. If you're going from odd man front, taking on the offensive tackle head up or inside shade of the offensive tackle, let's say if you're playing the 4-eye. But how would you know that? Why? I watch film. All right. So a lot of stuff going. Egalitarian 207 said, "What's up, Beast? What's going on, man?" Daniel Kim says, "Facts, Jeremy. He really needs to learn and hand fighting counter moves to become what he was drafted to be." That's it. Daniel Kim hit. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Hashtag not for long. That's the NFL. Jerry Glanville said it with the Atlanta Falcons. Remember Jerry Glanville from the Atlanta Falcons? He said, "You know what the NFL stands for? Not for long." Jerry Glanville was awesome. I remember him. I think he was coaching. I remember going to the games at Candlestick, and the Atlanta Falcons were playing in the NFC West. And what does it have to do with not for long? Well, again, I cover all 32 teams. This is what Jerry Glanville said. I believe Deion Sanders was on that team. Andre Rison was on that team. Terrence Mathis was on that team. They also had Bob Whitfield on that team. Let me write this. Bob Whitfield, offensive tackle. I love football. Like talking football. It doesn't matter what team. We're talking about the Atlanta Falcons. They played in the NFC West with the New Orleans Saints a long, long time ago in a far, far galaxy ago. Along with the Carolina Panthers. Musa Muhammad. Remember Musa Muhammad, number 87? Jeez. I think they had Rahib Ishmael too, the Rocket. You guys know about him. He was with the Raiders. I think he played with Jeff Hostetler, right? Not James Jett. Remember James Jett? Who else did they have? We already talked about Tim Batuka. Jeremy Willis says the defensive line is going to be vastly improved this season. Serious competition for starting time. Silvera looks good. Can't wait to see pure NASCAR package this year. Yeah. I think the best way to help out a secondary is solidifying the defensive line up front. And that's what they're doing. There's 31 of you guys watching right now. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what I have to say in regards to Myles Garrett and the Tyree Wilson comparison. Look, we're leaving no stone unturned. All right, we're leaving no stone unturned when it comes to Myles Garrett and with the comparison to Tyree Wilson. And I spoke with a couple NFL scouts, and I'm going to tell you what they said in regards to Tyree Wilson. All right, so why the Raiders drafted him, right? So I spoke with a few people, a few of my friends. One was an NFC scout. All right, so I spoke with an NFC scout last week, right? And again, I was working on this for a while, and this is what he said, right? And I was taking notes. I was the one writing it down because he was giving me this information on his thoughts. All right, now what goes on in the war room, that's a different story. I don't know. He's not going to tell me that, but this is what his thoughts are when he was evaluating Myles Garrett. All right, he says, ceiling is through the roof, sky's the limit, but I question his take on skills as a pass rusher. He could be the next Myles Garrett or the next Deion Jordan. All right. While edge Will Anderson is the safer play, Wilson's height, weight, speed doesn't grow on trees, so it makes sense why Raiders targeted him once Devin Witherspoon and offensive tackle Paris Johnson were off the board. And I asked him, were you surprised that Arizona Cardinals traded up to 6 to get Paris Johnson? He said no. He literally said no. He's like, nope. It's like, okay. Daniel Kim says, in comparison, what skill set did Chandler Jones come into the league with? He's rebuilt himself multiple times and lasted a while. You know, when Chandler Jones came out, I liked the pick because I was like, man, this guy, again, you can't coach arm length. You can't coach that height, weight, speed. I thought he was going to be a great pass rush specialist. I didn't think he was going to be this good. What I'm not recent memory, obviously. I mean, last year he kind of had a down year, and I didn't like the signing of Chandler Jones to begin with. I mean, check out the beast receipts; it's there. Didn't like that 3-year, $51 million after running grades with him with the Arizona Cardinals. Right? How did I format that analysis? That it was a bad signing. Based on the evaluation versus evaluation. But from a locker room dynamic, I can see the cultural identity they were trying to bring, and that's why GM Dave Ziegler brought him in. And I think it's actually a blessing in disguise because at the end of the day, he can learn from Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, as in Tyree Wilson. So hearing things from a player perspective other than a coach, I think can resonate with the player a little bit differently. And what I've been told is Tyree Wilson has an unquestioned work ethic, And one thing that people don't know, we talk about comparisons between Will Anderson and Tyree Wilson. Obviously, you guys know how I feel some type of way about Will Anderson because I'm a big Roll Tide Roll fan, but being unbiased, he was just the better player, in my opinion. And the safer play. I don't think no one's questioning that because of the program that he comes from is Alabama and Nick Saban and how they like to build up NFL talent. I mean, it's a powerhouse. Alabama, LSU, you name it, right? These guys are powerhouses in the SEC. So obviously Georgia, can't leave them out. 2-time national champions. They're going for a third. Thanks, Kirby Smart. Appreciate it. Man, I gotta give respect to my Georgia Bulldogs though. Nakobe Dean, it's my guy. But no, getting back to it, it's going to be interesting how this plays out. But then I like Tyree Wilson. That's why I gave a grade of a C because he could blow up. He could have 12 sacks this year. And would I still give it a C in hindsight? Probably. If he's just a situational pass rusher in year one, absolutely. Because you don't draft a guy at number 7 to be a situational pass rusher. You want to play all 3 downs. And so for me, that will come in due time. So that's why I gave a grade of a C because I left some room for error there in case I was wrong that this guy is going to be something special. Because I think if I was to flip a coin on if this guy's going to be special, I'm more leaning on the 50-50 side, right? I'm literally on the fence about this. I'm not teetering. I gave a grade of a C. I mean, me and Case did the same thing. So when Case was on here on Don't Miss a Beat from the Beat every Thursday, he was on last Thursday, and we both gave a grade of a C. Maybe because we sit together and we talk a lot. Hey, what do you think about this? Oh, I love Case. You guys all love Case. But no, that's what I think. Mr. Angel 515. But this guy can be special. Tyree Wilson can be special. And so I spoke with someone else about Tyree Wilson. And this is an AFC East scout. All right. So he says, this is his personal analysis now. And I asked him, hey, man, what are your thoughts on Tyree Wilson? Right. Because when I saw in film, and again, there's a reason why I'm doing this from home and these guys are scouts. So just hearing it from another scouting perspective, it's really cool, right? So he says Wilson plays at a premium position and the number 2 ranked edge on most teams' boards, in his opinion, behind Will Anderson, of course. He said, my thought was Raiders would trade back, but they took the guy they felt fit a need while being able to get the most out of the player they feel can be coached up due to having an undying work ethic to go along with those NFL traits that we spoke about. So again, you can see why the pick was made. And that's why I'm not questioning the pick. Look, those guys know what the hell they're doing. I'm just a guy reporting on what they're doing and then watching film to formulate that analysis. I can have an opinion and be wrong. It doesn't happen often, but it happens. So I could definitely be wrong. That's why I gave a grade of a C. I kind of want to teeter to the B range. I'll be honest. After hearing this, I kind of wanted to switch it, but I was like, no, I'm not going to be a triple F. I'm not going to be a flip-flop or fake. I'm not going to say one thing in real time and then cross-check it and hey, I'm sticking with my guns because I already said it. The beast receipt's already out there. I already said a C. Phil Romero says, Beast, Byron Young. I see what you're saying. It's Byron Young, not Brian Young. But I get what you're saying. I get confused too. Plays significant minutes this season. I can see him playing significant minutes. Yes, absolutely. DMS says 4,200 says hit the like button, nation. Yeah, absolutely. There's 30 of us watching right now. We have 29 likes. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what I bring to the table on the daily. We have one person in here who's not liking it, but watching all our stuff. So hit the like button. It's funny. Looking at the analytics every day, it tells me like 20% of the people watch all my stuff, but aren't subscribers. But they watch all my stuff, but aren't subscribers. They watch all my stuff, but aren't subscribers. What does that tell you? Let me write this down. Oh man! All right, there's 30 feet. See, it's going up. Everyone wants news and what I have to say about Myles Garrett, what I'm hearing, so they can go ahead and put it in the Instagram post and pass it off as their own. Like, hey, look, look what I know. On to Six Soldiers Beast. What defensive tackle on the roster has the best potential to be a 3-down lineman? Gosh, this is a great question. With Neil Ferrell, again, Andre Carter, my good friend of mine, dear friend who was on here, and we talk all the time about Neil Ferrell, and he's a firm believer that this guy is going to be special. And I said, Dre, give me an unbiased analysis on your guy, Neil Ferrell. He's like, dude, he's a lighter Vince Wilfork. I'm telling you. It's like, I played with Vince Wilfork. I think I would know. I played for Coach Graham. I think I would know. It's like, yeah, you're not wrong. I ain't playing the NFL. No, but Dre would be straight up with me, and I agree with him. I'm going to take his word for it. So I think Neil Ferrell has a chance to be something special. People are sleeping on Neil Ferrell because of the recency bias of the draft selection of Byron Young in the 3rd round. But that's not to go without saying that Byron Young can't be even more special than Neil Ferrell. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we'll have to wait till training camp. Like, I don't like to... It's like me. Like, anybody who played competitive sports, let's go back to high school. Forget college. Just go back to high school. All right? When you're going into, like, JV to varsity, right? Let's say you're going JV to varsity. There's someone already there. You're going up against seniors. You're moving on from a sophomore into your junior. And I remember in high school, when I was playing basketball, my high school coach, we had 4,000 students, by the way, 4,300 students. And literally there'd be like 200 people at trial for the team. He only kept 5 juniors on the varsity basketball team. So it's 5 juniors. Everyone else was seniors. And it's like, why? Well, he only took players that he felt can hang. He didn't want people riding the pine. At the end of the day, the best players should be playing. And ultimately, sometimes that doesn't pan out that way. Sometimes the coach, well, in this case, the coach was not even a good guy. Sorry, man. You're not a good basketball coach. Which is why I transferred. We butt heads. That's another story. Not saying I'm not a coach. I'm very coachable. I was a team captain. But other people felt the same way too. I was just the one that spoke my mind about it. And he didn't like that. Oh, man. Oh, but anyways, I think Neil Ferrell can be special. I also think that there's a lot of guys that can be special. Neil Ferrell's one, Byron Young is one, Matthew Butler. I still like Matthew Butler a lot. So any one of those guys can step up their game. I'm eager to see how they play when they drop their weight. Like, a lot of these guys dropped weight. Some of these guys gained weight. So again, how you hit with body analysis, because again, strength and conditioning is my background. We're going to see how this one plays out, right? We're going to see how this one plays out. Daniel Moon says, would you put his floor as Clee's ceiling? Absolutely. You know the funny thing about this is, in real time in the Beast Receipt, I said Clelin Ferrell was the worst pick of round 1. Was I wrong? No, I was right. That Beast Receipt checked out in real time right after the pick was made. Then I started covering Clelin my first year on the beat last year. And I'm like, man, I like this guy a lot. I feel bad for putting that out there, but was I wrong? No. Now he goes off to San Francisco. So it's kind of like, I come to Vegas, he goes to San Francisco. What a coincidence. I like Clelin Ferrell. All right. I like Clelin Ferrell a lot. I do. As a person, as a man, as a player. He's very well respected. In fact, no one talks about this. And I want to give props to Clelin Ferrell. Right? Maybe some people know about it back in the Bay Area, and obviously in Vegas, they know about it. They know what Clelin Ferrell brought from a coaching standpoint. And every time I step foot in that locker room, which is every day, because, I work there. I'm the one asking the questions. I'm not a content stealer. I'm the one creating the content as a beat writer. And so, anyways, I'm laughing because you guys know what I'm talking about. Clelin Ferrell, to me, is one of those player-coach dynamics that you really need in your locker room. So like he was really coaching up Matthew Butler and Neil Ferrell. He was talking to the guys religiously, like, "Hey man," and you can just hear them like they'll be talking in the back there and just kind of like going over like what happened in practice or what things that he needs to work on. I mean, Clear was actually bringing these guys up. He wasn't afraid of the iron sharpens iron mentality. He was very professional, good guy, great person. And again, I think for all you 49er fans out there, you guys are going to be very, 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 very happy you guys got Clelin Ferrell. And the reason I say that is because from a community standpoint, he does. You know how the Niners do really well with the community. We all know this, right? Just like the Raiders here in Vegas. So both these organizations are first-class organizations in that, right? So he's going to be out there. He's going to be out there in the community in the Bay Area, whether it be over by, there's a lot of stuff going on over by the Rivermark Plaza. There's a lot of stuff that the Niners do outside of that for the Boys and Girls Club and things like that. So he's going to be really active in the community. I just know him as a person. The guy is going to be doing great things outside of just what you're going to find out on the football field, which is he's very, very, very smart. He's strong at the point of attack. I think he's tailor-made for a 4-3 base. Again, in that wide 9, right? We talk about that wide 9. And again, that's something I'm very familiar with coming over from San Francisco. So again, in order to play that wide 9, you have to be very disciplined because the gaps are very spread apart. Like you have to have a 45-inch arm length. No, you just have to be very disciplined and trusting your eyes and knowing what you see and being able to stack and shed at the point of attack. And he does a really good job at that. So again, within the confinements of the scheme, he does a really good job at that. So I like Clee. I want to give credit to Clee, man. I'm going to miss him. Going to miss him inside that locker room. He's a great guy, a great person. And I wish he was, honestly, I wish he was here in Las Vegas. I do. I like Clelin Ferrell. I'm a big fan of Clelin Ferrell, both on and off the football field. So that's what we were going to say about that. On to 6 sources. Beast, where did your Clee rank coming out? Oh, you guys want to see what my Clee ranking coming out was? Let me just go ahead and put up the Beast receipts on that. That was funny when people were like, "Oh yeah, you really have Beast receipts?" And I pull out stuff from 2009 on the spot. You can't make that up, right? Doing a live stream, can't pull that up out of my butt. All right, so let me just go ahead. I'm gonna be scrolling for a little bit when it comes to Clee. I talked a lot about Clee actually. Man. All right, so back on April 22nd, 2019, I said Colts and Chiefs are both rumored to be in trade talks with Seahawks regarding Frank Clark. I currently have Beast receipt on 2019. All right, I currently have Clelin Ferrell mocked to Indianapolis and Chiefs taking Taylor Rapp. Clark would fill D Ford loss while Colts would fill huge edge rusher need despite adding Houston. All right, so that was back on April 22nd, 2019. So if you look at where they're being drafted, 3 days later on April 25th, 2019, the Beast receipt I had a mock to the Colts at number 26. And this is what I said on Clelin Ferrell, my analysis. Ferrell is a very consistent player who is considered a solid pick this late in the draft. While he doesn't have the explosiveness or splash plays, his consistency with run fits and pass rush at point of attack can't be ignored. All right, so that was my analysis on him back on April 25th, 2019, 12:39 p.m. on Twitter. I also put up some other information on that. Once he was drafted on April 25th, 2019, at 5:49 p.m., I wrote, and I tweeted this out, Raiders go Clelin Ferrell. Wow, team reached, in my opinion. I had him going in the late 20s, right, to the Colts. All right, so here we are. All right. Well, I didn't mean to throw shade, but here I said on April 25th, 2019, the Beast receipt's out there at 6:04 p.m. I was so upset about it for you Raider fans. Here I am as a Niner beat writer, just like, oh my God, I'm so upset for you Raiders fans. The Raiders, I'm messed up, dude. But the Beast receipt was right. It's my job. I do predictive analysis. This is what I do in reporting, right? Honest reporting from the Beast perspective when watching and grading the snap, not the box score. So on 6:04 p.m. on the same day that he got drafted, I said, the Raiders pick Clelin Ferrell reminds me of the Darius Hayward Bay selection. Huge reach, in my opinion. Thoughts? And Yato Yoshida comments, and he says, difference is Hayward Bay was a high ceiling, low floor projection player picked on athletic traits. Ferrell is a lower ceiling, higher floor player picked on motor production. It's definitely a safer pick, but not terribly inspiring. See, so the Beast receipts check. I'm telling you, the Beast receipts check out more times than not. And here we go. I'm just calling myself out. We're here on April 26, 2019, right after day one at 3:14 a.m. in the morning. 3:14 a.m. in the morning on April 26, 2019. I'm just reading off my Twitter right here. I said, analyzing day one picks of the 2019 NFL draft, best value was defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons. This is on real time. All right. This is the Beast receipts in real time. Best value pick in round 1 in 2019 was Jeffrey Simmons. Oh, what is he today? Oh, he's an all pro. Holla at your boy. Check off. Worst pick, Ferrell. Okay, where is he? 49ers. Best trade up selection, Devin Bush, Steelers. Where is he now? Seattle Seahawks. Got that one kind of wrong because they didn't even pick up his 5th year option. Worst trade up selection, Caleb McGarry. Right? Falcons. Best trade down selection, Marquise Brown for the Baltimore Ravens in round 1. You guys want those Beast receipts? I got them for you. Daniel Kim says, Beast is literally the content creator for all the others that mine social media to be a content borrower. Give Beast credit as your source. Film study, work ethic. Yeah, absolutely. Please do so. Please feel free to be ethical and do the right thing. If you feel a certain way, odds are I'm probably talking to you. If you feel a certain way, odds are I'm probably talking to you. Otherwise, you have no reason to feel that way. It's just annoying. It's annoying, it's wrong, and it's disrespectful. It's like a slap in my face. KG, is the Raiders rookie minicamp still this weekend, May 12th and 14th? Yeah, as far as I'm told. Now, am I going to be attending that? Like I said, as far as I know, I think Tashawn Reed from The Athletic said that, and again, I wasn't here last year for rookie minicamp. I was actually remotely covering the Raiders, making my transition here to Vegas, trying to find a place to stay. But no, I think he actually tweeted something out. Shout out to Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. I think he said that since they moved to Vegas, they haven't allowed rookie minicamp to be open. So I think I read that from him. If I'm mistaken, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure I read something like that. And I didn't receive anything through the grapevine. So if we do have access, of course I'll be there because it's my 9 to 5. I'm a beat writer. Of course I'm going to be there. It'd be news if I wasn't there. Oh man, that would be news. Hi guys, I'm reporting from rookie minicamp remotely here in Las Vegas. No, it's really a blessing to be there. At any point they can say shut it off. Like, hey man, we don't need you. See you later. But no, as far as I know, I think rookie minicamp. By the way, KG, thank you so much for your super chat yesterday. I gave you a shout out on the video along with Space Chimp. So you and Space Chimp got shout outs yesterday, along with people who sent me Venmo donations on the live stream. Jeremy Willis says, Beast, why are so many people sleeping on the Raiders this year? After the draft and free agency, our roster is substantially improved. Hopefully we're competing for a wild card spot. You know who's going to look at this? The Raiders. This is bulletin board material. Be like, oh, Jeremy Willis said wild card. We're going to win the AFC West. What are we doing? I'm joking. I agree with you. I'm 100% in agreement with you. I think the roster got a whole lot better. Credit GM Dave Ziegler. Credit Andy Dangler. Credit Sean Herock, the senior personnel advisors. Credit DeJuan Daniels. Credit Brandon Yergin. Lenny McGill. Jalen Morris. All these guys. They do a really good job. Credit all these guys. Dwayne Joseph, the pro player personnel director. Credit all these guys for getting the right players that they feel. They don't care about what you think. They don't care what I think. They care what they think. At the end of the day, that's all that matters. I have so much respect for that scouting department from the top down because they don't give a crap what anyone in the media thinks, including myself. And I think that is awesome. Because there's some GMs that be like, oh, Beast is going to talk about this. He's going to give Tyree Wilson a C. We should have just won. I'm joking about that a little bit, but kind of not really. I mean, look, there's certain media in certain aspects of the country that they'll just rip you apart. Like, they're cutthroat. It's cutthroat industry already, but it's cutthroat. Like, this is crazy. Luckily, the Beast receipts check out more times than not. But I think Tyree Wilson can be special. I'm not saying he's not. I like, the more I talk to people around the league, the more I fall in love with this Tyree Wilson pick. And love is a strong word. Just like hate's a strong word. But the more I can see why they did it. And I trust the people who are making these decisions. I do. Look, I'll keep it 100 with you. I'm still sticking to my C grade. I can't move off that. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna be a triple F. I'm not gonna be a flip flop or fake like some of these other people. Oh, I never said that. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. That's why I like calling myself out. Yeah, you want to talk about Clelin Ferrell? Here's the beast receipts on Clelin Ferrell in real time when he got drafted. Boom. Was I wrong? No, I was right. That's why I'm not afraid to put my beast receipts on the line. I'm telling you guys, they check out more times than not. That's why we have Chiefs fans in here. That's why we have Steelers fans in here, Panthers fans in here, Falcons fans. We have every fan base in here, dude. I'm telling you. On says, listen, Deion Jordan coming out of Oregon a couple years ago. Yeah, remember Deion Jordan? Phil Romero says, I was hoping we kept Clee. I hope he does well for the 49ers. I think Clelin Ferrell is going to be a really underrated. John Lynch is going to love Clelin Ferrell. Chris Kocurek is going to love Clelin Ferrell. All right. The Niners are one of the top teams that you look how many players they lost. Look how many coaches. Like, it's like a high turnover there. Coach McDaniels is where? Mike McDaniel, where is he? Miami Dolphins. Where's D'Amico Ryans? Houston Texans. Where's Robert Saleh? New York Jets. It's a pipeline for head coaches. Like, that's how good they are. Kyle Shanahan does a really good job. John Lynch does a really good job. And so, again, my hat's off to the San Francisco 49ers. I hope Clelin does really well. In fact, if I had to take a guess in playing that in Y9, I think Clelin Ferrell is going to be one of the more, when it's all said and done, 2020, I think Clelin Ferrell is going to be one of those underrated signings that people look back and say, damn, this Clelin Ferrell guy is actually living up to some of that first round hype. KG says, Hayward Bay was a trash pick. He was even a major bust in college. I remember drafting him in CBS Sports College Football Fantasy in 2008, and he was on the bench within a few games. Ooh. Kalala Siguancia says, can't wait till the schedule drops. I can plan my trip out there again. Hey, let's meet up, dude. Let's meet up. Larry Fleming says, what's up, Beast? What's going on, Larry? How are you doing today? Look, we're talking about Tyree Wilson, Myles Garrett. For those who are just joining us, 35 of us watching right now. If you guys don't mind, mods, post up my YouTube link and tell people to follow me and subscribe to the channel and flip on that bell notification. Someone can, if you guys can do that for me. Again, we're trying to hit 10K subscribers, right? So if you like the silver and black content that I provide on the daily and the beast receipts that I like to do when calling myself out in real time, and cross-checking it off in hindsight and saying, hey, look, I was right or I was wrong. Again, not afraid to do that. Love doing it. Why? Because if you're going to follow somebody, you want to follow somebody who gets it more right than wrong. And I'm not talking about going to the casino and being 51% right. I'm talking about 75, 80% right. 90% right. On certain things when it comes to mock drafting, free agency, surprise cuts. And this is around the NFL, right? Why? Because in order to know, hey, we should have got this guy, or no, we shouldn't target this guy, the valuation versus evaluation has to align when it comes to comparison and contrasting these different valuations of players. Because again, age plays a factor, tread on the tires plays a factor, premium position plays a factor. All these things play a factor in all different parameters in formulating the why behind the what. Phil says, what was the beast receipt on Kolton Miller? Well, let's put it this way. I wasn't high on Mike McGlinchey, and he went number 9. But that's not to say I didn't like Kolton Miller. I liked Kolton Miller at what they got him. So let me just see if I have what was my Kolton Miller analysis? I remember asking John Lynch in the war room. I said, hey, man. I was literally in the war room. And then I asked him, I said, hey, I have a question for you. How many Pro Bowl players do you have graded with He's like, what? I was like, how many players do you have with Pro Bowl grades? You have to project that, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, damn it, Beast. I miss John Lynch. Great guy. One of my favorite players growing up. I always talk to him about the Tampa Bay Bucks, but going back, and the reason why I bring that up, because we were talking about Pro Bowl players in that draft that Kolton Miller came out. So let's see if I have any analysis on Kolton Miller, which I sure I do. Maybe I spelled his name wrong. All right, while it's loading, why is it not loading? Come on, Twitter, get it together, man. Twitter, get it together. Why is it not loading? That's weird. All right, anyway, well, while it's loading, why is it doing that? Okay, while it's loading, what the heck? While it's loading, we can talk about other things. Why is it not loading? Anyways, I'll get that up for you guys. I kind of want to know what I have to say about Colton Miller, but I remember coming out, I kind of liked him more than Mike McGlinchey, to be honest with you. I remember thinking that I liked Colton Miller a little bit more than Mike McGlinchey. But I didn't think Mike McGlinchey was a Pro Bowl player, let's put it that way. But I had a feeling they were going to draft him. That's why I asked the question, because I kind of had a feeling they were going to draft him. I was like, hey, he's not a Pro Bowl player. But Beast Receipt checks out. If it's true, Cosby and Jones applauded the Wilson pick at the draft because they know the raw gifts that they get to shape and guide. From that standpoint alone, I'm excited for the huge potential. Yeah, I can see why. I like Tyree Wilson. And you know what? Like I said, that guy can slap me from across the room. If I see him in the Raiders locker room, he can literally, like, as soon as I walk in, he like stiff arm me from like push me back into the media workroom, like with one arm, like from where he's standing. I'm telling you, this guy he has it. Daniel says, at what point will you have a fair assessment of the team, each position ability? Once I watch training camp. It's always fluid. It's always fluid, my guy. All right. Mr. Rangle 15 says, one free agent you want signed this year. All right, so before we go ahead and answer this question, if you guys want support through a super chat or super sticker, and if you have a question, send me those first, and then I'll get to those questions. If you want to donate to the channel, we've been on for 52 minutes and 34 seconds, so be sure to hit the like button if you haven't already. That is free 99 and doesn't cost a penny. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in right now, and I'm just going to go ahead and catch my breath real fast while we do that. We have 44 likes right now. And we have a few people coming in and out. So let's get those likes up and give me a second while I answer your questions. But yeah, if you guys want to donate to the channel, we've almost been on an hour now, right? We've almost been on an hour. If you guys want to donate through a super chat, please feel free to do so. It really helps out the channel a lot and makes making these honestly worthwhile. And if you can't do that, a like is free 99, and that makes these worthwhile. So I understand times are tough. Trust me. Trust me. I ain't doing it for the thrills. Remember Bad Boys 2? Or was it the initial Bad Boys? Rockefeller Gibson says, what's poppin', Beast? What's going on? Daniel Kim says, remember to be a friend and tell a friend to subscribe to the Dark Side of Beast Rider. If you guys are new, DOB stands for Dark Side of Beast Rider, coming over from the 49ers. And you guys can go ahead and follow me at youtube.com/@BeastRider. On to Six Soldiers says, Beast, what's our D-line coach and what's his history as a D-line coach? I did talk about this, Alvaro, on previous live streams. Again, this every day we have people who have questions, and you guys are in here all the time, right? So again, I challenge you guys to watch previous live streams because a lot of the questions that you ask we covered already. And I understand, there's only 24 hours in a day. Not calling you out, Alvaro. You're one of my day ones. I'm just saying in general, be sure to watch all my previous live streams because more times than not, I will answer this question in great detail. So again, I create these videos and live streams so you guys can have a strong basis of it. And I actually categorized it for you. So again, if you guys want to know what's going to happen with Rod Leonard, what he brings to the table, I discussed that in previous live streams. And again, I talked about what he brings to the table and the dynamic on why he was brought on to this coaching staff, along with obviously some of these other new counterparts that came into the team as well. So like Scott Turner and so forth. So check it out. And then if one of my mods can find that video or that live stream and repost that, that'd be great for Onto Six Soldier. Onto Six, I can also DM you on Instagram too, so you have that. But yeah, I challenge everyone. There's no expiration date on my live streams. In fact, the one that he's talking about was from a month ago. All right. So again, you're going to want to keep up with my live streams. because you're not gonna want to miss a beat, right? One, it provides a different layer of security for you guys to understand exactly what's going on through my head. Like, what's the beast mentality? So then you guys know already the why behind the what. And so that's why I post these live streams. Look, I do one every single day, right? There's only so many hours in a day. You guys all have lives and families and everything, right? And you guys have a lot going on in your own personal lives and stuff, so forth. But I make these videos so you guys can watch them. And again, if you can't donate through a super chat or super sticker, right? Watch the videos. That makes me money. So like, there's no better way of hitting the algorithm than watching all my videos. So again, it kills two birds with one stone. One, you get the information that you valued from my perspective, and two, you're making me money at the same time in creating these videos. Because let's face it, you guys already know, right? You guys already know how much time and effort I put into it. So the least the DOB can do is watch my videos, right? And even like if it's stuff like, oh, you think you heard about it already? You probably haven't, because there's a lot of stuff covered. We cover a lot of different layers. We cover a lot of ground, from one live stream. I mean, one live stream we talk about 7-8 topics. Boom, 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 boom. Like Coach Graham calls me. He's like, man, I love your questions, man. Everyone asks a good question, but you ask the best question because you're boom, boom, boom. Same thing on those live streams. There's a game plan in how I do things. So again, Alvaro, I'll get that over to you, my guy. But no, I challenge everyone to watch my live streams for sure. Absolutely. Because again, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where we have to grow. How do we do that? Well, if you watch my videos, that's going to be a huge indicator for YouTube to push our videos here on the DOB as a recommended video for other like-minded nation. So if we're trying to hit 10K subscribers and you want to go, look, my goal is to buy season tickets to the Raiders games and just give them out. Just give them out to you guys. Boom. Buy a pair of season tickets. Boom. Give them out. Boom. Every single game. Bam. Boom. Just like I do with the Niners. I'm not even there living in San Francisco. No one goes to those games except for the fans because I give away those games. So again, we're trying to grow here. We're trying to grow here in the DOB, and in order to do that, I'm asking for your help. So watching the videos is something that can help me more than sending me a super chat, which also works too. And I'm not saying that they don't work. Obviously they do, because this is my 9 to 5. But a like, engaging, and then watching the videos, probably most importantly than the first two, is really going to help me out. So watch all the videos for me. Do me a solid. And you'll learn something in return. I promise you'll learn something. Do you not learn something every time I come on live? So no different with any video that I post. Thank you so much, Kelly J. Appreciate it. Kelly Joseph in the house. And again, Kelly Joseph would know he was a winner of the Beast Rider giveaway. And we posted up on the community page. Thank you so much, Kelly Joseph. I appreciate it. How's your Raiders helmet doing? Man, I wish I had one. Those look pretty fire, right? Those look pretty fire. But thank you so much, Kelly. I appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys want to support through a super chat or super sticker like Kelly Joseph and like Coach has, you guys can do so right now. And again, look, it helps out making these worthwhile, right? We've been on for an hour now, and really, really helps out. Really, really helps out. All right, so Kelly J says shine daily. Man, all right. So we talk about Myles Garrett. We talk about the dynamic between him and the comparison between him and Tyree Wilson. And I was thinking more along the lines of Aldon Smith, because they were drafted number 7 overall. It was something I was thinking about. And then PG actually pointed out, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. So credit PG from ESPN, because we both covered Aldon Smith with the 49ers as beat writers. If you guys don't know, me and PG, before I came on with the Raiders, I was coming over from 49ers, and he was a Niners beat writer for a short time there. So we covered that. So Aldon Smith was number 7 overall. I forgot about that. And so he's like, hey, Beast, come over here. He's like, who does Tyree Wilson remind you of? I was like, kind of like Aldon Smith. He's like, oh yeah. And then he pulled it up. Like, he had it already set. So we kind of saw the same thing. And then he's like, oh, he was draft number 7. I was like, dude, that's some good knowledge there, because I forgot about that. Okay, Daniel K, put it up. Daniel Kim, put it up. It could be this one about the Raiders coaching changes. Here we go. Space Chimp says, on to 6, check out the live stream about coaching changes. All right. See? All right. Thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate this. All right. On to 6 says, Beast, who's your comparison for Wilson? Oh, like my comparison, I'm not going to waver and say Myles Garrett. I'm going to say Aldon Smith. I'm going to say Aldon Smith is my comparison. And the reason I say that is because Aldon Smith, you knew when he was on the field, his job was not to drop back in coverage. Now, the funny thing about Tyree Wilson is when I graded the snap, not the ball scored at Texas Tech, they asked him to drop back in coverage and drop spot in the zone coverage area. So there's a difference between dropping back in the zone coverage area and dropping back in the zone and just guarding an area because the man's coming into your zone. So there's two different parameters there. A lot of times in college, you just ask a guy to just take on the underneath, and you see it with Andrew Billings, right? Coach Graham did it with Andrew Billings, where he would bring 4, but then you didn't know where that pressure was coming from. It could be a slot blitz, right, at one point, and then you have Andrew Billings kind of dropping back in coverage, but also playing the spy on the quarterback, which is kind of weird. But I mean, you'd have a spy guy, or he was dropping back in spot zone coverage. I don't think you'd have him as a spy. Maybe more so dropping back in drop spot zone coverage, and then he can take away the underneath routes on those shallow drags. But Tyree Wilson, if he has what I've been hearing is an unquestioned work ethic and the ability to be the first one in and last one out, as I've been told, the Raiders may have gotten potentially a steal. I went from a grade of a C, and I'm sticking to it, but they could potentially have gotten a steal. Now, on the flip side of that, how's his Lisfranc injury, right? How's that foot? If there's any doubt in the Raiders' mind, they would have taken it off the board. They would have taken it off the board if there's any doubt that that foot injury was a problem. All right, that's why he came in for a pre-draft visit, right? Because people talk about the pre-draft visit, why do guys come in? A lot of time is medical. Like with GM Tom Telesco with the LA Chargers, a lot of time he brings in guys to check out their character, but then also the medical. So again, some GMs have different layers to this, again, on the valuation for evaluation of how they like to run their boards. But at the end of the day, I don't think the Raiders would be drafting Tyree Wilson if there's any question about the foot. So again, I'm not an orthopedic surgeon. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not a foot doctor. Like, so I'll take their word for it. Space Chimp says, I'm guessing Myles Garrett. Check the title, my man. Yeah. The Myles Garrett comparison is what other people have. I have Aldon Smith, but I think that he has the potential. And you guys remember, Myles Garrett only had 7 sacks his rookie year. And then the next 5 years, he racked up double-digit sacks. So, again, that's what I see with Tyree Wilson. I see him having a strong rookie campaign. I mean, look, any rookie who puts up 7 sacks in his first year, just learning the NFL grind, that in itself is a win. I don't care where you're drafted. I don't care if you're drafted in the 5th round. I don't care if you're undrafted rookie free agent or drafted number 7th overall. That is good production from a pass rush standpoint. A lot of times that probably eats up probably about 20% of the total output, depending on how bad your team is in the pass rush department. So you're looking at 17%, somewhere in there, and total pass rush output, maybe 15%. So, I mean, I don't think your Philadelphia Eagles putting up 60, 70 sacks, right? Could be. But yeah. All right. So there's 27 people watching right now. Give this video a thumbs up if you like what I have to say and like the valued content that I bring on the daily. We have 49 likes right now. Let's get those likes up. And again, we're talking about Tyree Wilson and the comparison to Myles Garrett as people have compared him to. I say Aldon Smith. Thank you so much, Coach, for the super chat and super sticker. I just want to give a special shout out to you for going ahead and doing that and sending me that super chat. And then again, thank you so much for Kelly J for sending me a super chat as well. And again, if you guys want to support the channel, we've been on for over an hour. You guys can do those through a super chat or a super sticker or a Venmo donation, and it's in the description box below, or just look at Beast Rider right here. You see YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Venmo. That's why I make this little thing right here and have it for you guys. So again, I'm on all these social media platforms, so you're going to want to follow me on all of them. Fortunately for people on YouTube, you guys get the firsthand look because I'm on YouTube more than any other platform. Because Instagram don't pay me for Reels anymore. They did away with that. So I said, see ya. I'm not going to post on Instagram anymore. Facebook, sorry to all the people in the Facebook groups that I'm on, but apparently some people flag my stuff as spam, even though I'm a beat writer pushing out the content that people regurgitate. So I guess the admins kind of feel some type of way. So I was like, I'm not going to deal with that. That's not my deal. I have too much else going on in my life. We're going forward. So if you guys want to follow me, look, people are asking, how come you're not posting on this Facebook group or that Facebook group? I was like, man, you're preaching to the choir, but I don't got time for people having an ego because they feel some type of way because it's their group and it's like, okay. And people asking me questions because I'm a beat writer, but it's like my 9 to 5. So of course I'm going to have answers to their question, whatever. So that's why I said, no, I'm just going to be on YouTube and look, you can follow me or not follow me. That's, I don't got time for drama. On to 6 Soldier says, what was your draft grade on Damon Arnett? Well, let's look at it. It was not. Twitter was like acting up, but I didn't like the Damon Arnett pick either. Look, you guys want to know what I say about Damon Arnett? Check the beast receipts. I had Damon Arnett with a 3rd round grade. I had him going to the Niners at pick number 70. In fact, here's my analysis back on April 20th, 2020, when I was running my first initial mock draft on that NFL draft class. I said 49ers back on the clock just 15 picks later. Again, you guys know how I do on mock drafts. Having struck an earlier trade with the Dolphins and a 2-for-1 deal, they need a cornerback, and Lynch has selected one cornerback in each of the drafts he's managed. With the number 70th pick in the 3rd round, they go Damon Arnett. All right, that was my mock draft. All right, that was my mock draft for Damon Arnett back on April 20th, 2020. And so on the same day, we went ahead and talked about the scenarios. And then what happened here? On April 24th, 2020 at 3:27 a.m. Again, 2019. You team no sleep. Look, 2019, we talked about Ferrell at around 3-something a.m. And 2020 at 3:27 a.m. we're talking about Damon Arnett for the Raiders. I'm sorry. You guys know how I do this. The beast receipts check out. Look, on April 24th, 2020 at 3:27 a.m. I said, the NFL Draft 2020 analysis on day 1 picks. Best value was CeeDee Lamb out of the Cowboys. Worst pick was Damon Arnett out of the Raiders. Best trade-up selection was Tristan Wirfs out of the Tampa Bay Bucks. All right. Was I wrong in those beast receipts? Think I did pretty good. So there you have it. That was my evaluation on Damon Arnett. Didn't like it. Jeffrey C says, would Chris Dolman be an appropriate comparison? Yes, Chris Dolman was another guy I was looking at. It's funny, Jeffrey T. Great minds think alike. For those who don't know who Chris Dolman is, he was number 56 for the 49ers. He also played for the Minnesota Vikings over those long years. And then obviously he had, oh man, I used to watch this guy in person. This guy was one of those guys who was just, again, he played alongside Roy Barker. He played alongside a lot of good defensive ends who can really bring the pass rush. And Chris Dolman, to me, was a comparison that I was thinking of comparing Tyree Wilson to, because again, he has those long arms, and Chris Dolman is a Hall of Famer. So kudos to you for making this comparison. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't think people would know who Chris Dolman is, but Chris Dolman also played for the Atlanta Falcons as well, if I'm not mistaken. But he's a guy who really struck a chord with me in terms of a apples to apples comparison from one generation to the next. So yes, you are spot on that. And people who don't know who Chris Dolman now want to look him up. He's number 56. And he has a gap between his teeth. How do I know that? Bro, I know football. Let's talk football. On to 6 says, wow. I know my stuff. I'm telling you, I know football. We can talk about every NFL team. There's nothing in front of me right now other than reading my beast receipts, which I have to type in. But look, in order for me to the analysis, people want to piggyback it and call it on their own, but whatever. We passed that, man. There's 29 of you guys watching. Give this video a thumbs up. We've been on for 1 hour and 10 minutes and 4 seconds. If you guys want to support through a super chat or super sticker, and you like the questions that I answered, or sorry, you like the questions that you have and then that I answered, and if you like those questions and you like those answers, please consider sending me a donation, right? And you can do that through Venmo too. Everyone has a Venmo, right? So You guys want support through Venmo, you guys can do so. There it is right there for you. At Beast Rider. It's in the description box below. You guys there's no legwork for you. In every video that I make, whether it be live or a static video, it's all in there. It's the same format. It's a copy and paste template. Boom. If you like the Silver and Black content and you want to donate, boom. Or give it a thumbs up and engage with me. If you want to send the super thanks, if it's on a replay, you guys can do that too. So again, every little bit helps. But again, if you guys can't do any of those things, that's cool, right? But a like is free, engagement is free, and so is watching all my videos, which again, that's probably better in terms of the first two, because at the end of the day, I make money from you guys watching my videos and you guys supporting me, right? And it's not costing you a penny, right? So again, yeah. Thank you for Tino Oliveira, who liked the video. I appreciate it. I see you. I just got the notification right now on Facebook. Thank you so much. And I know some of you guys are asking, how come I'm not posting on these other Facebook groups? I'm sorry, man. I just don't like the drama, man. Like, people just they feel some type of way. I just like, man, I'm just all about good vibes only. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry people are asking me questions. Like, I can't control other people's actions, dude. I can't. It's not my fault. Like, they gravitate toward me asking me questions instead of the admins of the Facebook group that I'm in. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to like outdo you or one up you. I can't control that. Like, so I was like, oh man, all right, teach their own. Go ahead, feel some type of way. That's cool. It's your Facebook group. I get it. I'm just the beat writer posting in the group. Under 6 Soldier says, Beast, have you watched the film on the undrafted free agent right tackle yet? No, I have not. I've kind of taken a break from film study, to be honest with you, because my mind is racing. You guys know how I work things 24/7. So for my mental health, I need to take a step back from watching film a little bit. So I just to be for total transparency purposes, if you don't see anybody else posting about undrafted rookie right tackles and stuff like that and content, now you know why, because they're content stealers and stealing my work. So I'm like, man, I'm going to take a break a little bit. And they're probably going to take a break too. Edgar Bonilla says, my player comp for Tyree Wilson is Simeon Rice. That is interesting. I also brought up Simeon Rice too, right before hopping on. You guys are good. I'm just going to say it right now. You guys are really good, because I actually looked up Simeon Rice. And I also, who, by the way, Simeon Rice was one of those guys who, if I'm not mistaken, I think he played with, who was that other, Andre Wadsworth. You guys remember Andre Wadsworth? And, it was the Phoenix Cardinals before, not the Arizona Cardinals. But Simeon Rice was also on the Tampa Bay Bucks, of course. But then he's a guy who, to me, he had a faster get off. Like, just FYI. Like, but I saw the comparison a little bit in Tyree Wilson's game. So again, I'm not dismissing the fact that I don't think Simeon Rice can be the next. Tyree Wilson can be. See, I'm dyslexic there. Sorry. The Tyree Wilson can be the next. See how my mind works sometimes? Backwards. It's effed up. How Tyree Wilson can be the next Simeon Rice, but see, I make these live streams kind of look easy. It's very difficult. I'm not all there. Get things mixed up. But I just think Simeon Rice had a faster get off. And you guys got to remember, he didn't care if he got penalized. Like, Simeon Rice didn't care about, the snap count. He just went. Like, he was reading his keys and he tried to time the snap count, but a lot of times he would jump the snap count, and the coaches would live and die by that, because you don't care if he's racking up 16.5 sacks for the year. Like, who cares? Like, I'll live and die with that penalty. Well, that's what it seemed like. Yeah, it's a good comparison. I like it. Edgar Bonilla, I like it. Kudos to you, man. Now, someone's going to piggyback on that and write that down. My comparison to Tyree Wilson is not Myles Garrett. It's not Alden. It's Simeon Rice. It's Chris Dolman, as Jeffrey T would say. Where'd you hear that from? Huh. Man, people weren't even alive when Chris Dolman was playing. Let me write this down. All right, the 20 of you guys watching, give this video a thumbs up. And again, I like talking football with you guys. I really do. But no, on to 6 Soldier, I will definitely get those grades for you on the game film. Kikaha Raider, thank you so much for the super thanks. I appreciate it. Super chat, I should say. If you ain't being hated on, you ain't done crap. Keep doing you, Beast. Yeah, man. Like I said, I appreciate it. And again, it's just one of those things where at this point it's kind of laughable. Like we all know who's stealing my content. Like it's kind of like a known thing now. So to think that people aren't aware of it, it's mind blowing. And the fact that they play it off as if they're not doing it, like that's even more mind blowing. It's like that's your issue with the guy upstairs. That's not on me, man. That's hey. And you can't even say to each their own because you know they're doing it. There's no way you can formulate that analysis without watching the film or having some type of analysis or kind of proven track record to go and take that stance on the why behind the what. Because again, how can you say this guy's a chess piece? How can you say this guy's versatile? How can you say all these different things without knowing the different techniques that they're playing, strong side, weak side, play side, and then also breaking down film all at the same. It's like, and then also, right, when it came to the mock drafts, you guys know you have to know all 31 other NFL teams outside of the one that you're covering, right, in order to formulate a mock draft. And so, and you know, the Beast Receipts check out. I don't sleep, especially when it comes to the draft. 2019, the Beast Receipts check out 2019 and 2020. I was posting stuff at 3-something a.m. So you know I don't sleep. So it's just not something that's new. It's not something like that's not expected here in the DOB. Like you guys know what I bring to the table. So stop. As in the content stealer, stop. But no, asking someone to stay professional and do the professional thing when they're not in that headspace in the professional level, and that's on them. Because they're not on that level. They're not saying they're better or worse, but at the end of the day, it's kind of worse because I always say that because in this instance, if you're a content creator and you want to call yourself a content creator, then create your own content. Don't be stealing content. That's why you're called a content creator, not a content stealer. But thank you so much, Kikara Raider. I appreciate it, man. Edgar Bonilla says, Beast watches more film than Kyler Murray, and you ain't lying. And that is not, and that is a fact. At least it was. I don't know how it is now. But for him to have something as content, you have to watch more than 4 hours a week on film. Like, oh my gosh, like what is this install? Okay, just give me the script. Just give me the scripted play. Can we just go back to the WCO, the West Coast offense, and just give me the 15 play script? And then we'll just do that and replay that and just kind of mix and match that, kind of like a remix. No, man, like, don't you want to know what the other teams are doing? Don't you want to know what your opponent is doing? No, not really. I kind of just play backyard football. Oh, man. Yeah, it's crazy. But no, thank you so much, Kikaha Raider. I appreciate it. And look, let's face it, man. If you feel some type of way, it's probably because I'm talking to you and you know you're doing something wrong. Is it not facts? Like you can tell, like I always bring it back to Texas Hold'em. You can tell poker tells. Like when I ask a question to a player or to a coach or to a GM or whoever, there's things that I look for. There's cues that I look for. Just like reading a pre-snap keys, pre to post snap play based on down and distance. Same thing applies when I'm asking a question. Why? Because I want to know if they're telling the truth or if there's some type of a nervous tick, like which direction they look in, where their eyes are headed before they're asking the question, if they can look me straight in the eye. I mean, there's different things that you look for. Like there's different tells, right? And having a strong answer to having a kind of like an iffy answer. There's things that I know and I look for. Been doing this for a while. And I played poker, so I know. Not very good at it. Just joking, I am. When it comes to my friends, but going to the casino, I ain't good. I ain't that good. I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, I'm really good at poker, dude. No, but like playing cash game or something like that, just, $5 here or there. Yeah, sure. Just having friends over and yeah. I usually do pretty well in those cash games. Got to know when to hold them and got to know when to fold them. Sometimes people just don't know when to fold them. They think, oh, I'm all in. You're on tilt, bro. You have pocket deuces and you're on tilt. You're hoping for the trifecta. You're hoping to hit trips on the river. Sorry, dude, not happening. I have one of your whole cards. I have king 2. And you have deuce. Let's go heads up. 51, 49%. Let's go. Pre-flop. I call you. People don't want to see analytics come into poker too. How do I know that? telling you, man. You dibble dab in a lot of things. You can kind of formulate your own analysis. And again, so it comes back to numbers. It's a numbers game. Like, what's the difference between Siegfried and Roy and Pocket Rockets, or Siegfried and Roy and Cowboys, or the Doyle Brunson hand, right? And you guys play poker? All right, so we've been on for an hour and 20 minutes and 57 seconds. I think I'm going to wrap up this live stream. We had a successful live stream today. I just want to give a special thanks to those, like I always do now moving forward. I just started it today. What I'd like to do is, for all the people who donated to the channel, I want to give a special thanks to you, and then create another video for specifically for you guys. But then again, that's not to say that people who don't like it and don't engage with me on the platform are not just as much valued. You guys are. I understand times are tough. So I want to give all you guys a shout out right now. So Robert Pena, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bick, thank you so much. On to Six Soldier, Daniel Kim, D Menace, Coach, thank you so much for your super things. I really appreciate it. Raider Trader, Space Chimp. There's a lot of people in here, but no, all you guys been nothing but huge help here in the DOB and helping us grow. And we want to take it 10K subscribers, right? So how many Raiders fans do you know? I'm going to ask you straight up. How many Raiders fans do you know? Of those Raiders fans, would they like my content? That's the next question. If the answer is yes, then it's a no-brainer that they should subscribe to the channel, because I am one of the beat writers. I'm the one that's pushing the questions. I'm the one that's asking those questions. I'm the one that's reporting the daily grind at Raiders headquarters right across the street from my house. I am the one in the locker room. I am the one watching the game film, formulating my analysis the very next day when the game goes well, game doesn't go well. And so if you guys have questions, you guys will have those answers, right? I'm one of the few that does that. I'm not the only one, obviously. I'm one of a few beat writers that do it. So again, you have 24 hours to choose to follow who you want to follow, right? So again, if you guys want to follow whoever it is, that's your choice. But for me, if we're going to try to do this, and if I'm your number one source of information, truly, and Raider fans out there that would love the content that I bring because I am a beat writer from my flavor, then definitely tell them to subscribe to the channel. And people say all the time, oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll get to it. You know what? They never do. Trust me, this is not my first rodeo. I'm coming over from 49ers, so I know how it works. Oh yeah, I'll get to it. I'll subscribe. They don't do it. They say they'll do it, but they don't do it. Why? Because people are lazy. Just be honest, people are lazy, right? People are lazy. So tell them, hey, look, like, just do it right now. Oh, I'll do it. You're sitting at the table. You're waiting for your food. Just do it right now. Like, what? Okay, fine. Then when you force them to do it, say, okay, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell. Okay, good. We're done. Then they're going to be hooked. You already know what they bring. You already know what I bring to the table. They don't know what I bring to the table, but you know what I bring to the table. And you know what we bring to the table, because it's a family here. Once they subscribe, they're in the family. If you just tell them straight up, hey, look, man, what B writer is going to give season tickets to the game once he reaches 10K subscribers? So why not? Right? Even if you don't even like me, wouldn't you want to go to a Raider game and say you went to a Raider game for free with a friend? So it's just not you going by yourself now. You're getting 2 tickets. I don't know, man. It's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer for the 49er fans. They already know. But I didn't get big from doing that. That was just after the cause. And we were already big at that point. But then it's something I always like to do. I always like to give back, and I always done that from day one when I became a beat writer. So I would give out, like, 49ers helmets, autographed memorabilia, all this stuff as a thank you. So again, we're doing the same exact blueprint with the 49 or with the Raiders that I do with the 49ers. So again, thank you, Coach, so much for the super chat. Thank you so much, Kelly Joseph, for the super chat. Thank you, Kikaha Raider, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. And again, if you guys want valued content, be sure to hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. And again, mahalo to each and every one of you. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for your engagement on here on this platform with a like. And again, if you're watching the replay, you can send me a super thanks. Mika from Germany did it again. Thank you so much for your super thanks. I mean, we're on different time zones, and Mika from Germany the Germany nation out there is crazy in love with the DOB, and I appreciate it. Like, I didn't even know that there was even like fans in Germany that were Raider Nation. But Mika, thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. All the way in Germany. Pretty cool. So we're growing. But again, we have 5,100 subscribers. All right. If you really think about it, 5,100 subscribers as a beat writer compared to some of these other guys who aren't beat writers. Not saying I'm better, not saying I'm worse. I'm just saying from a beat writer perspective, we should be a lot higher in that. And all it takes is one person to ask another person to subscribe, and we'd be at 10,000 subscribers tomorrow. Unfortunately, the world doesn't operate that way because it's a lot of energy for people to get on their phone and hit the like button and support something that probably let's face it, we have a lot of haters in here too that probably don't want to support. They're like, oh, this beast writer sucks, these beast receipts, blah, blah. It's like, okay, well, you're hating for a reason, right? There's hate for a reason. But at the end of the day, you can't stop the grind. You can only hope to contain the DOB, but it ain't stopping, right? Because the beast is going to come out and we're going to come back 10 times harder, and we're going to keep continuing to growing, keep the good vibes only going. And again, that's how we're going to build up the YouTube community here on the dark side of Beast Rider is, look, home of the good vibes only, and we're going to put out honest work. And for anyone else who wants to join, you're more than welcome to join. The problem I have is people stealing my work and then trying to pretend like they're not watching this right now and then saying, hey, look, and then making an Instagram post out of it and saying, hey, look, Myles Garrett, Tyree Wilson, Alden Smith, Chris Dolman, Simeon Rice. Holla at your boy. Give credit where credit is due. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I had a lot of fun. And again, if you guys are new to follow me, be sure to follow me on all the social media outlets below in the description box. And also, if you have a Venmo and you would like to send me a Venmo donation, if you're watching the replay like Koa did, Koa Y did it the other day, actually last night. Thank you so much, Koa. I appreciate it. And a few other you guys did too. So again, the Venmo donations are happening. They are working. They are real. It's Venmo. Is it real? No, man. No, man. It's a scam. Oh, man. Anyways, you guys can donate through there. But I just had a lot of fun on this live stream, just talking out the Tyree Wilson dynamic, the comparisons to Myles Garrett, the comparisons to Alden Smith, the comparisons to all these other great players from the past, and how that meets into the present. So again, really good value into information. And again, you guys, I learned a lot from you guys. I was surprised that someone brought up Chris Tillman. I was surprised that someone brought up Simeon Rice. And you see this, there's nothing in front of me, and I was just talking. We're just talking football, right? And so again, I want to bring a fresh perspective from a beat writer perspective to where you guys actually gain something and learn something from these live streams, from these videos. Because if you're not learning something, you're not growing. So you're either taking a step back or you're growing, right? Like every day you either learn something new or you don't. So I want to learn something new from you guys. Just as much as you learn from me, I want to learn from you. And the more I'm learning about you guys is you guys are very smart. So you guys have a voice, so you guys need to use it. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in on this Blitz pickup. I'll be hopping on back on tomorrow for a Don't Miss a Beat from the Beat. And special announcement, I'll be on Heidi Fang, her podcast tomorrow, describing and breaking down the schedule as it pertains to your Las Vegas Raiders. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Beast Rider out.